Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Your presence is truly appreciated as we gather together tonight to celebrate 20 years of service to fathers and families by Real Dads Network. Its membership of fathers and father figures now span across the globe, from the Americas to England to Africa. We look forward to sharing more of those stories in the near future. But for now, let's take a moment to hear the inspiration of Real Dads Network by its founder, Derek Phillips.
Real Dads Network is an organization that really provides support, resources. We're all dealing with some sort of trauma and some sort of pain. What got me into this was the fact that I remember when I was younger, I was a kid that I didn't go to school, played hooky in the first grade, and I even got left back in the second grade. And I'm the youngest of 4 brothers and 3 sisters. And I remember my mother saying to me, the only thing she ever wanted in life was to see me graduate from high school. And my dad was never a part of my life at all. And it was a situation where me and my nephew, we were the same age. He was 4 months older than me. Where we were about 7 or 8, we were hanging outside. And these 2 men were outside, and they said, that they were our fathers. So we let them in the house, and they ended up stealing our TV. And one of the things that really stayed with me is that my mother passed away when I was 10. And the big issue was who's going to take Derek. Nobody wanted to take me. And my sister, my older sister, who was only 26 at the time, she took all my other siblings. And there was still that person lingering around was me, and nobody wanted me. So I remember the night before my mother's funeral, just laying on the bed crying that night. And I said, if I ever have children, I'm going to make sure my children never have to go through what I went through. So I made this promise to myself at the age of 10. Here it is when I had children, I kept that promise. And I made sure that I was there for them every day. I made sure that I did everything for them. Did the Pampers, did the bottles, stroller, and it became a good feeling to be there and for people to recognize that, wow, he's a Mr. Mom. He's really there for his kid, and it felt good. Then I realized that while it felt good, it was an insult because I was a black father. They didn't see me. They saw something else, someone who was like an anomaly. All black fathers don't do that. And I was saying, well, you know what? You have a lot of black fathers that are taking care of their children, that are raising their children. So I said I wanted to just change this image and change this perception of black fathers. So I ended up doing this documentary. And this documentary was called Real Dads, Black Men on Fatherhood, that had commentary by the late, great Ozzie Davis. And this was the first documentary ever done that focused on positive black fathers. And that documentary was done in 2000. People say, wow, that was a nice documentary, and it's nice, I really enjoyed it. What happens if I need help? Where do I go? It's nice to show the pictures, it's nice to show the documentary, it's nice to have the films, but at the end of the day, a lot of us need support. So I ended up creating Real Dads Network, and my wife was very instrumental in that because she actually came up with the name Real Dads Network. It was designed to be a place where men can go and feel as though it's a place where they belong, it's a place where they're seen, it's a place where you can be vulnerable, and it's also a place to just get information, get an education. And I know even for me, not having a dad, it also became a huge support group. I learned from a lot of the other dads, because I didn't have a dad. I didn't have a dad or a mom. I would pick up a lot of information in terms of things that I wanted to do with my child. And one of the things we know is that when it comes to fatherhood, there is no blueprint, there is no book about how to be a good parent. A lot of it we learn from our environment. And so I just wanted to do something different than what I've seen. To design what Real Dads Network was to be that place where dads, where men feel as though they can go. And it's not controlled by the government, it's not city agencies. We're not asking you for your social security number, we're not asking you for any information. The only thing that we're asking is that if you come, is that you just be open. Hear what other people have to say. We don't judge people. We give you just a platform to just be who you are.
For all. Courageous love, empathetic vision, observant, critical, understanding, precision, perceptive, soulful, spastic, genuine, listening, powerful, tenacious, spellbound in rhythm, creative, agile, resourceful, receptive, boundless, vulnerable, nurturing, protective, invested directives, therapeutic, affectuous, skillful, willful, value, perspective.
I believe Real Dads Network is probably the most powerful resource I've ever experienced as a man, period. When I first started going through it with the baby mama drama, I had to learn and cope with what I was going through by myself, and it was very hard and difficult until I discovered and found the Real Dads Network.
They literally stepped up, gave me the resources, and gave me the support to make me a better father. If they weren't there, I can't answer you whether or not I'll be in this position or not.
Being the father of an artisan, that's like the best thing that ever happened to me. It just changed my perspective on life. I was recently released. I did 15 years in prison, and last year I was sitting in my cell and I happened to see the Real Dads Network on Channel 7 News talking about the daddy-daughter dance that they were having. Like, I just felt it inside, like I gotta reach out, and he just let me know whatever I want to do to be a better man so that I could be a better father to my son. Whatever resources he had, he basically laid them out on the table and told me to pick one.
Something that he's really been pushing is fatherhood resource centers in each borough, which I really want to help him with. Derek has been an OG in the game. I really appreciate the Real Dads Network. They're a tremendous group. We, as the Dad Gang, we look up to them because they've been doing tremendous work, and they have been pretty much the creators of a lot of other fatherhood groups that have been out there as well.
Real Dads is who we are, but what we do is we are a network that empowers. We are a network that presents opportunities. We are a network that have resources. We are a network that is into giving and uplifting families and communities.